Hi, everyone, and welcome to our e-learning business leadership course for a second semester. I am so excited to get the ball rolling on this course. I just taught this course. I just finished teaching it last semester. So for me, this is round 2 this year, and I have absolutely loved working with my students last semester. So I'm looking forward to meeting you and to working with you this semester as well. So my name is Mrs. Thompson. I am your teacher this semester for your e-learning course. Some of you may have had an e-learning course already, so you know the ropes. And for some of you, this is your very first experience working in an online learning course. And it's extremely different than being in a regular classroom. So these videos you'll get to know come up all the time with me, and will sort of be a really great way of communicating and getting to know exactly what the expectations are. But I always like to start with introducing myself a little bit because I think it's really important in an online classroom for you to have a face to the name, because while we are behind screens, I am a real person, you are a real person, and part of what I really work on doing, especially in a business leadership course, is getting to know the learner from within, or the leader from within, if we will, so who you are as a person. So I am a teacher, obviously. I've been teaching for the last 12 years. I teach business courses, so every possible business course that you could possibly teach, I've taught. And I also teach the social justice program at my school. I obviously love teaching, and I love teaching business. I will talk about this in a second, but I primarily am a commerce graduate, and I also run my own businesses in my own spare time as well. So that's another thing I'll talk about. And I love lots of things. I'm a dancer. I've been a dancer since I was age 3. Pretty much every contemporary, ballet, tap, jazz, that kind of stuff. I love to run. I'm not a very good runner, but I love the feeling. And I like to run like 5Ks and things like that. And I've also traveled all over the world, including taught in Thailand for a while. And I also helped build a school in Ghana, in a small fishing village off the west coast of Ghana in Africa. So yay. A little bit about me. Obviously, I graduated from obviously I'm a teacher, but I went to the University of Guelph for my undergrad in Bachelor of Commerce. And I actually started out in resort properties and working with hotels and hospitality management. But I quickly learned that I loved helping people, but I wanted to help people in a more direct way, which is what led me to teaching. And I ended up getting my master's of education in the United States, thinking that I might want to teach abroad, which is also why I taught in Thailand for a while. But then I ended up getting a job in Milton, and that's funny how life works. I've taught in Milton ever since, and I absolutely love what I teach. And being an e-learning teacher is kind of the next wave of the experiences that I've had as a teacher. And I love teaching online. It's extremely challenging, but it's a lot of fun. I think you'll find this semester as well. I also own a dance company for adult performers, contemporary ballet, jazz in Toronto, and this is our 10th year anniversary. And I also am a social media sales representative for an athletic wear company. So I do a lot in my spare time, and I think that that's what makes me interesting. As you can see, I'm a world traveler here. I obviously also, you can't see this picture here, I'm a dancer, which I've also spoken about, but this right here is everything. This is my son, Evan. He's 2.5. And if I don't reply to your emails right away, it's probably because after school hours, he is my number one priority. And I miss him terribly when I'm not with him. But he's a cutie patootie, and I might talk about him periodically because he keeps me running. And sometimes we get sick because he picks up everything that you could possibly pick up. But he's my sweetheart, and I love him dearly. Okay. So my philosophy as your teacher, where should I put this? I really value kind of the life stuff, the life skills stuff, right? So like putting in the time, putting in the effort. We're going to do a lot of reflecting on this throughout the semester. What is leadership? What does it look like? You don't have to be the straight A high school student to be the next Bill Gates. It takes a lot of other things to be a great leader. And these are the things that I'm looking for with you guys as well. And I'll discuss this more throughout the semester. And so really, what is this course all about? Ultimately, the idea here is that you're learning about who you are as a leader, because we are all leaders. We've all been leaders before. And actually, how we look at leadership from a societal perspective is very different than how leadership actually is. So again, we'll reflect on that this semester. This course really focuses on you developing your leadership skills, on learning how to manage a successful business. You're going to analyze the roles of leaders, within businesses, how you look at decision-making, conflict resolution, group dynamics, workplace stress and conflict, looking at the 21st century as a completely different entity. We're going to look at next week even an article about how robots are going to be changing and the way that we transport ourselves in the next few years. So the world is just changing drastically, and how do we keep up with that from a leadership perspective? And then also motivation and theories of motivation, looking at our communication skills in an online setting. Of course, that is so important in our digital age, but also looking at how our digital age impacts us from a stress perspective and how mental health plays a dramatic role in that as well. We also had opportunities for students. Last semester, they really liked this kind of getting out in the community and taking, photos and having conversations with other business leaders and doing interviews with other people in positions of leadership. So I will actually be getting you out of the computer screen as well, or away from the computer screen for some of our assignments. So it should be fun. All right, so what do I expect from you? Hey, it's super easy for you to be sitting there thinking, I'm going to take an online course because it's going to be easier. I can assure you it's not. Okay, so just get that out of your minds right now. Obviously, you don't have to be in a physical space for 75 minutes every day, but the onus is on you to make sure that you are following along. And there's just as much work in an online classroom as there is in a regular classroom. And then on top of that, you don't have anyone chasing you down. So it's really important that you put in the effort and that right from the get-go, you remember that this is hard and that you need to be on top of your game, okay? So don't look at this course as just an easy way to get a credit. It is not going to be that. It will be fun, and the projects I think you'll really like, and it's so nice to not have to be in a classroom for 75 minutes every single day to get a credit. I think there's a lot of great things that can come from that. But it's a definitely a different type of learning. You have to put in the consistent effort, okay? So just remember that from the beginning. It's so important, okay? What I expect from you guys, again, basic stuff that you would expect in any classroom. I don't need to spend time on this. Really, respect and professionalism when you're communicating with me, completing and submitting work by the deadlines. I'm going to go through this in a video that's posted tomorrow, but essentially, how I operate with our classroom is that I will post everything for the week ahead on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So you'll have it all, and I'll show you that in the video. And everything for that week is due the following Monday at 8 a.m. Okay, so I'll elaborate this, but those deadlines are so important, not only because it helps to keep me organized, it helps to keep you organized, but there's more and more work the following week. So if you get behind it becomes impossible. It's a slippery slope. So that's why we do that. And again, I'll explain this more in tomorrow's posted video. Okay, so attendance and punctuality. Punctuality, the great thing about an online classroom is you don't have to worry about that. Attendance, though, you do need to be online. And I would say you need to be online every day, and especially for the first month to get into that habit. And for the first 2 weeks, you actually have to complete a participation activity Google form each day on that subsequent day for your attendance. So for the first 2 weeks, you absolutely have to be online every single day in the classroom, but it's a great habit to have no matter what, because I'm always posting new things, okay? Professional communication, I will talk about this more because email is going to be our best friends for communicating. And my email policy is that I will, with my e-learning students, get back to you within 24 hours. If I don't email you back within 24 hours, just imagine that something is going on in my life that's challenging. So maybe my son is sick, but that is my policy. With my e-learning students, I think it's really important because if you have a question, you should be able to ask me and you should be able to get, a prompt response. So that's my goal. But again, just obviously making sure that you're using that professionally. Okay. So daily participation activities are really important. For the first 2 weeks, you will have to complete one every day. So you'll see that there's one posted every day in our weekly outline this week. You do need to complete them on the day that they are assigned. And that's because I use that for your attendance. And I'm going to be using that for your attendance for the rest of the semester. Okay. After the first 2 weeks, you will only have to complete one a week, which is great because they're kind of a pain in the butt. They're really easy, but really easy to do, but it's still something that you have to do. And, it's just nice to not have to do it every single day. So it's just for the first 2 weeks, and they will be located in your weekly breakdown. Again, I will show you that in tomorrow's video. Okay.